So the purpose of Whanake o Te Kōpara is to give opportunity to young women aged between 18 and 25 years old who live predominantly outside of the main regions in Aotearoa and who have not had opportunity before. It's a leadership program, but within the context of health, sport, physical activity.
What I've gained from being part of this program is the ability to connect with my emotions, interact with the facilitators, and really know my strengths and weaknesses.
From this program, I've gained a lot of skills within myself and my leadership development from work and my relationships in terms of friendships and my workmates and my business.
I've gained so much being a part of this program. I've met a bunch of amazing women who, if this program wasn't about, I wouldn't have been able to connect with them, and especially in such an in-depth way. I've been able to learn from industry leaders that often get shadowed. I haven't always seen female leaders in this space because I'm surrounded by men all the time. The wealth of knowledge in this group is just second to none.
When we talk about leadership, I talk about knowing self first and starting with self, and then being able to understand what we need to be our best and how we don't want to feel, because that impacts how we can be our best. And so that's what I do in everything all my programs that I run, anything I do around leadership. It's a critical part, mainly because not many people do it. Most young people and people who are older have never been exposed to talking about their emotions. And for women in particular, it's often seen as a no-no to show your emotions. You don't cry, you're supposed to be really objective and stand back. Whereas I'm trying to say, well, actually, that's not the best way to be. And if we can understand how we need to feel to be at our best and how we don't want to feel, then we can actually create environments that work for us individually, and then we amplify that out into our teams. So whilst the focus on the program is on the individual, we do talk through how they might be able to use that in their teams when they go back, if they are in a workplace environment. Many of our participants are still at university, but they have often shared it with classmates and their family.
I think emotion is a really underrated part of leadership, because once you know an emotion behind why someone's at a gym or why someone's at a workplace, you can really dive deeper into their why and what you can do to help someone.
The ability to connect with others, being able to have sound leadership in stressful situations, and being able to know what are your strengths in stressful times or in good times, or how to work on your weaknesses.
Emotions mean so much to so many different people. I'm definitely still learning what it means to me and how to deal with it, and then trying to put it into that leadership space as well. It's so important, because at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're people who feel things, and being able to take other people's emotions into consideration when you are leading is definitely a strength, and it will make you a better leader. If you can look after those around you and actually take time to see how people are feeling, it'll make a world of difference.
Anything I do now with leadership, I always start with the emotional culture deck. So I've used it now in many different contexts. We basically ran through the whole thing. So we did a retro to start with, so asked them how they were feeling. We then went through, identify what are the top 5 ways you need to feel to, be at your best. How do you not want to feel, but you know that you sometimes do? And we then worked through how that impacts the behaviours that you want to see or don't want to see, and what that then means for them in their own life, but then also thinking about the context that they operate within and what they can do in their teams and with other people that they work with.
The thing I like most about using the ECD is the simplicity, the ability to see exactly what your strengths are in a card format, and being able to engage with the facilitators in a non-judgmental and carefree environment.
It's an easy way to put the mess that's going on in my head down on paper and try and clarify how I'm actually feeling. It's a really helpful reflection tool. Not only do I use it for myself as a self-reflection tool, I actually use it in other relationships. I'm a very talkative person, and my partner is not. It's really helpful to try and see what's going on in his head, because he doesn't always know the word to use either, so he can think things. So it's a really good way to try and reflect but also share what's going on.
And the thing I liked most about the ECD cards was that you can really drive into people's emotions, and when I used it with my colleagues, we just got to a point where we can really understand each other at a deeper level.
For me, the main thing that I'm really proud about is being able to reach those young women that don't get opportunity. So I really feel like for those of us that are in positions of influence, such as myself, to be able to share and bring together other women in particular who can share their knowledge and share that with other women, then we get this ripple effect. So the women come on the program, they go back to their communities, they engage with their communities, so it's more than them that engage. And I think the other thing that we do is they come on the program, and as part of learning about leadership, we ask them to develop an action plan or a project that they might implement when they go back home, in effect. And we teach them how human-centered design works, so how we make sure that what they design actually works for the people that they want to be working with, so that we're not telling people what to go, we co-create with them what might be meaningful for them. So that has had various impacts. So we've had, for example, from the first cohort that we had a woman who was based out of Southland in Invercargill, and she brought together the rural community who were only coming together for funerals, and she wanted the rural community to come together with something positive. So she created Friday night family sports activities, and it brought the community together to do something fun rather than turning up to funerals. So that's just one example of something that's happened.